My name is Des. I am here to talk about a sensitive thing that a lot of people don't want to talk about, but I wanted to document mine. Um, at first, I never really thought about miscarriages or what they come with. I thought it's really weird because I thought miscarriages were painless. I thought they weren't a big deal. I thought your body just rejected the fetus and that was it. You just had bleeding, no cramping, no nothing, and it just did its own thing. Boy, was I wrong about that. My experience was the worst experience I have ever felt in my life. Also, I didn't know that everybody experienced miscarriages differently. I thought it was practically the same for everybody, but I was also wrong about that. Since, some women have mild pain, just a little bit of cramping, and then passes the tissue in no time at all. In my case, it was not that at all. So I'm going to explain my situation. On May 15th, so the day after Mother's Day, I felt really nauseous. I hadn't really thought about the pregnancy thing. I just thought maybe my period was coming and I was just symptoming around that because my period was supposed to come soon after that. I was at work actually. So I go home. I had like a bunch of little strip tests in my drawer because we are trying. And I took one of those and I looked. And there was nothing there at first. So I was like,
hey, again, another negative. But then I looked again a little bit after that. I looked again and there was a faint second line and my heart just fluttered. And I didn't believe it at first, of course, because I had so many negative tests, so I was just used to that and used to a disappointment. Wasn't used to a positive and feeling of joy and excitement and everything that comes with a positive pregnancy test when you are planning for one. Anyways.
On June 20th, I got my dating ultrasound done. Didn't take too long. And then the person who was doing it, nurse or whatever, she left the room. And then she had some other nurse, I guess she was higher up than she was, and she said she needed to take more pictures to make sure that she got everything that she needed for my midwife. And so I'm like, okay, that's fine, the more the merrier. And then she left the room. And I was alone in there for a couple minutes. And then the nurse comes back in and tells me my midwife is going to call me on the phone that was in the room where I got my ultrasound done. And I'm like, okay. I didn't know if that was normal or not. So I wasn't worried or anything yet, but I knew it was somewhat odd. I don't think the midwife calls you right away unless there's a problem or something wrong,
So anyways, she calls me and she goes, I have some disappointing news. That's what she said. Disappointing news. She said, I'm so sorry, but your baby has no heartbeat. And I'm on the phone like, great.
My heart sank to my stomach. I felt like bawling, but I was strong. I didn't cry. I didn't really do anything. But she told me on the phone, she told me that it might be because I was too early, that we couldn't catch a heartbeat yet because they don't know how far along I was. She told me I have to get blood work done so she would check my hormone levels. So I did that. I was right after work, I went there and she took my blood, and then another 48 hours later, she took my blood again. And then me and my boyfriend were off to visit my sister, which was 4 hours away from where I live currently. And she called me up there and she told me that my hormone levels were at 15,000 the first day and then dropped to about 14 or under that the next time that my blood was taken. So that means that obviously the baby is not alive and there's no way to reverse that process, of course. I was around 11 weeks when I took the pills vaginally so that everything could pass the way it's supposed to. So the baby was 8 weeks and 6 days when the growing process had stopped. So that was 8, 9, 10. So about 3 weeks later, I was still pregnant, no bleeding, no cramping, no signs of anything. So I thought everything was fine and I was going to have a healthy baby, blah, blah, blah. But no. Just because you have no symptoms, no signs, there can still be something wrong. And obviously with mine, that was the case. So my body wasn't recognizing what was going on, so I had to take the pills vaginally to tell my body that it's okay to let it out, because the doctor told me that it was like my body didn't want to let go, of course, because I had wanted it so bad, and I guess my body just didn't want to say goodbye.
I went to the hospital. It was about 45 minutes away from where I live with my boyfriend. We waited there for 5 hours because there was two women giving birth across the hall from the room they put me in. So what I was hearing for 5 hours was women pushing and women having their babies. And I heard all the little cries when the babies came out, and they're so lucky I'm not emotional, or I wasn't emotional then, because like that's pretty rude. Or like they should have put me in a different room somewhere else where I couldn't hear somebody giving birth while I'm, getting rid of mine.
So I had to take the pills. The doctor inserted the first 2. So it's 2 pills every 4 hours, and I had to do that 6 times. So at 9 p.m. on June 26th is when he inserted the first 2. So I wasn't expecting a great amount of pain. I was just expecting bleeding, mild cramping, like a period cramp, and then that's it. So we were on our ride back. So it was like 20 minutes into our ride, I started having discomfort, and I was having a little bit of pain, just like a period. So I was like, okay, this isn't bad. I'm not gonna die. Like, it's not that bad. So we get to his parents' house. We're visiting his great uncle or something. And then I tried to sit on the floor to talk to them and have a good time or whatever. And I couldn't get comfortable. I had to go sit on the chair. And then the pain just escalated from there so quickly. From like 10 minutes, I went from mild cramping to a burning sensation in my stomach and all around through my back, all around my midsection. It was like
my mid-body was on fire. And somebody was like twisting. It was a terrible, terrible experience. I was laying in bed. I tried to take Tylenol. That would not help me at all. Like, I wish that would have helped me, but nothing helped. I couldn't take any medication because the pain would just be so strong that nothing could tame the pain that was going through me at that time. So it was really unfortunate for me because, like, that's just, nobody wants to go through that. And I'm really good with pain. I can take a lot of pain. I can work with pain. I can deal with pain very well. After that, my pain just got so bad. I had to go home to my own bed. So my boyfriend drove me home. We went home, and I laid in my bed for,
well, the rest of the night, really. And then I had to put those pills back in there. I had to do it myself this time. And when I got home, I had started bleeding. It was blood clots, bright red, just a lot of blood. Was TMI, but you know. So I had these 2 pills. I was sitting on that bathroom floor with my midsection burning, and that pain was just so strong I couldn't even move. So imagine trying to shove 2 little pills. It was a really tough time. Like, it took me a while to do the first 2 because that's when the pain was so bad. I had to have my boyfriend actually lift me out of bed and carry me to the bathroom. That's how much I was in pain. I couldn't even get out of bed. I was thinking, why couldn't I have just mild cramping like I read so many other people have? But no, I had to get like the whole shebang. I had to get like the stabbing feeling and the burning feeling and the bad cramps, and everything just knocked me right out. I was surprised, and I underestimated this whole experience. Yeah, so I put those in. It was disgusting. It was uncomfortable. I couldn't fall asleep. I had a movie on, and my stomach was just, I couldn't get comfortable. I had to get my boyfriend to actually rub my lower back a little bit, and that helped so much. I'm so thankful that he did that for me, because that helped so much. Because my back was the main area of pain, was my back, and it was just so achy, and his massages were just, they were giving me a little hope that this was going to pass a little faster than it would. But I had this heat and a click. So I don't know if you guys know what that is, heat and a click. It's like this bag of gel stuff, and then there's a little button inside that you click, and it gets really warm and it gets hard. And I have one for menstrual cramps, so it's like round, and it fits right on your stomach. So I put that there, and that helped too. So I actually went to get the heat and the click, and this is what it is. This saved my life. I love this thing. I never used it before, but this gave me a reason to use it, I guess.
As soon as I got back in bed, I fell asleep, thank goodness. After using that, I actually was able to fall asleep while I was getting burned and squeezed and just stabbed and everything. I was able to fall asleep for a couple hours. My boyfriend actually put alarms on his phone to make sure I'm up every 4 hours, and he actually stayed up until 1 o'clock in the morning to make sure I took my second set of pills. And he had to work in the morning. He had to work at like 8 in the morning, and he was staying up. Like, he wanted to stay up all night, but I told him no. Like, come rub my back. You can fall asleep. We have alarms on. It's fine. And when the alarms went off, either I woke up or he woke up, and I went to put those in. And finally, at 3 in the morning, I woke up because I felt a lot of blood on my pad or whatever. I felt a lot of blood. I felt like I bled all over the sheets, you know.
And I had to wait at least another hour to put my other set of pills in. But I couldn't wait. I had to get up. I had to go, like, change my whatever. At 3 a.m., my pain was it was worse than, like, at 9 or at 1 or whatever. It was the worst pain ever at that exact time at 3 o'clock. It was horrible. I get up, I run to the bathroom because I'm, like, all bloody and I have to change that. So I sit on the toilet for a bit because I can't move because it's so painful. I just sit there and I just let everything fall through me, and I felt a big tissue, a big blood clot just come out, and it hung there like I don't know what you call that, what the fetus is in, the sac hung there and I bent down and I looked at it for about 10 seconds debating whether or not I should grab it, you know? But I didn't, because I don't think my boyfriend would have liked to see that, and I don't really think I wanted to see it either. It'd just make it easier on both of us and just let it, you know, fall in the toilet. I know how horrible that sounds. I felt so uncomfortable just leaving it in the toilet bowl. It took me a while to be able to flush the toilet too. Like, I didn't want to flush it either. But it was really not cool to see it hang there, but it was really, it was interesting, and it was heartbreaking, because you know that that was my first pregnancy, and that's my first baby. Like, thinking about that is just, it's hard, and knowing that you're not going to be pregnant after that is, it's just overwhelming, and it's hard to deal with. So anyways, the sac passed at 3 in the morning, and then it was like all the pain went with it too, because I remember feeling relieved. All the pain was gone, everything, just for like 10 minutes I just sat there and I was not in pain. I was just enjoying, you know, the normal sensation of my body. And after that, the pain came back, but it wasn't as rough. It wasn't as bad, so it was a lot more tolerable than it had been all night. It was really hard to go back to bed. It was, again, it was still really painful, but it was a lot less painful than it was. I still had the heat in the clamp. This lasts all night. It lasted all night for me. And after that, I got up at 4 something to put my pills back in. I was still bleeding. So again, it was disgusting. It was, I hated doing that. But it's better than taking them by mouth, because apparently you get worse freaking symptoms if you take them by mouth. So just imagine all my pain plus more. No, thank you. No, thank you.
I am doing a lot of talking, but you know, the more I talk, the more I feel better. The more I feel better, the more I get it off my chest. And I like that I'm documenting this for future reference, or I just don't want to forget at all. It happened recently. It's been 13 days or 14 days since I first put the pills in. They call them injections, but that sounds a little odd to me. So I'm still spotting, but I'm not bleeding anymore. And I still had cramps for a couple days after I first got them put in, but it wasn't anywhere near as excruciating as it was that first night. Like, that was a horrible 6 hours of my life. And my midwife actually told me that she's been through a miscarriage and she's been through labor. So she said that the miscarriage pains were very similar to labor pains.
I think that my miscarriage pain was pretty well damn close to actual labor pains, because I got hit really hard with all the cramping and everything that comes along with it. Oh, I also threw up 3 times in a row before 3 o'clock. So around like 1 o'clock, when I put my second pills in, I threw up 3 times, and that really worried Sam, because he didn't think it was normal for me to puke, and I had no idea if it was normal or not. And that's about it. That's my experience. I can't wait to actually feel labor pains when I'm actually going in labor, but you know, that'll happen with time, hopefully sooner than later. But I am excited to be pregnant again, and I'm excited to hear or see some of your guys' thoughts and experiences. I'm excited to read those if I get any, you know, but whatever. So thanks for listening. Thanks for watching my first ever video. Of course, it's gotta be about a miscarriage. Can't be anything happy or less depressing.
So I guess I will see you in the comments or in my next video if I ever make one.